I can
Well
see you,
done, sir.
sir. I start you. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for always being there for us.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So let's still wait some minutes more so that maybe probably once it is 8:05, we can kickstart. So irrespective of the numbers of those that will join, we'll just
It's okay,
kickstart.
sir.
All right, sir. These are your wonderful family, Mr. Aruna. That's lovely.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Um, let me
Well
see.
done.
So I'll just wait for like 3 more minutes for others to join. So once it is 8:05, we'll start fully. So guys, can we start? It's time. Can we signify? Can we start?
Yes, we can start.
All right. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir, we
much.
can start, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. So good evening once again. Welcome to second week of our training, and
Yes, sir.
I believe everyone is fine.
I think we can start.
All right. Give me some minutes. I think
Welcome.
my my volume is low here. Okay. All right. Yes. Thank you. So this week, without wasting much of our time, so we can quickly do whatever we want to do, then will be good.
Yes,
So
sir.
this is second week, as we have known, and out of 10 weeks, let me say partly 2 weeks is gone already. And as a reminder, I want to assure you that that is if and only if, and that statement is a conditional statement, if and only if you are able to follow this program from the beginning to the end, you can beat your chest out there and then categorize yourself as a mid-level cybersecurity and ethical hacker. What we are going to be doing here is not just only cybersecurity, and as I have said, 70% practicals and 30, in fact it's not even up to 30, 20% theory. So which means as from next week, by God's grace, as from next week we are going to start our practical fully. So by then I want all of us to make sure our system, that's our machine, is up and running. It should be ready for work. So the Kali Linux, either you are using version 2022 or 2023 or 2024, I've dropped the video instructions that both explain any of those versions. So just go through the videos and follow the instructions, then you'll be good. So by God's grace, next week we are going to start the practical fully. By tomorrow, by God's grace, I'm going to introduce the pre-practicals for us, which means tonight we are going to end the theory by God's grace. By God's grace, except by God's grace, tonight we are going to end the theory aspect. So let's continue. According to the content we have with ourselves, that the one I sent with the first slide, the next topic there is a web, mobile and network application. Web, mobile and network application. As a cybersecurity expert or a cybersecurity analyst or as an ethical hacker, these are the three things we always work with. Either we work with web, or we work with mobile, or we work with network. As a cybersecurity, either you protect website, or you protect mobile, or you protect network. As an ethical hacker, either you hack a website, or you hack a mobile app, or you hack a network applications. So these three things are very, very important for every cybersecurity expert to understand to the core. So that's the reason why I have taken my time to explain it the little way I think I understand it, so that everyone or anyone that lay his or her hands on this slide in particular, he or she should be able to understand all what is about either web or mobile or network applications. So to kickstart, we start with web application. The question there is, what is web application? I'm very sure by now every one of us here, we are all familiar or even know what we all mean by a website. Yes, a website. In some cases, most of us do misinterpret a web application for a website. They are related, although, but they are two different things. So a web application is a software. Grab that. Web application is a software. So definitely any application we are referring to, they are all software. So it runs on our web browsers. That means a web application is a software that runs in our web browsers. A web application, which is also known or called web app, is an application program that is stored on a remote server and delivered over the internet through a browser interface. Please, as we join, let's try to mute our mic immediately. I understand, I can understand. So it's not a crime, just let's try to mute the microphone, or better still, let's mute the microphone before we join. We mute the microphone, we close the camera, then we can join the meeting. I think that one is better. So we are trying to clarify or differentiate between a web application and a web website here. So a web application is a program that is stored on a remote server. So I'm pretty much sure that we all know what a server is now. A server is your database. I normally use that language to explain it so that we all just use that meaning. A server is our database. Let's take it like that. A server is our database. And what is a database? Where all the information is being kept or being stored. Now, let's relate it back again. A web application is an application program that is stored on a server, that is the back end, and it is delivered over the internet through a browser interface. That is, if you want to access that database, if you want to access anything, you must go through the internet, and for you to go through the internet you need a browser. So that is exactly what a web application is all about. So the next slide, what is the difference between a web application and a website? So the quick one, I quickly try to differentiate them here, and I'm very pretty much sure that with this it will explain it in a better way, and I'm very sure we are all going to understand it. Now, a website is a series of web pages, that is a website, that are typically accessed through a web browser and are hosted on a web server. Now, a web application is a software, not series of web pages, not series of web pages. While a website is page 1, page 2, you can navigate, you can continue to navigate from one page to another, it continue to link. That is a website. But a web page is just a package, a software, which is accessed through a web browser and runs on a web server. It's just exactly what I've explained in the first page. Now, the main difference is that a website is static, while a web application is dynamic. And what is the meaning of that? When we say a website is static, let me use this language. It is stagnant. It is let me say it's stagnant. Or if there is another simple word I can use, when we say something is stagnant, it means it is stable. Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it is stable. But when we say web application is dynamic. That is, it changes. Yes, just like opposite to each other. A website is static, while web application is dynamic. So web applications are websites with functionality, that's the second one, with functionality and interactive elements. Now, for instance, if you want to go to your Gmail account, yes, let me put it that way, or your Facebook account, do not forget that they all have website. Excuse me, they all have website, and at the same time they have what's it called, apps. So wow. So like what we have on our slide, we have a Gmail as an application, we have Facebook as an application, we have YouTube as an application, we have Twitter, LinkedIn. There are more like that as an applications. Why accessing them through the website is totally different. I'm very sure we have developers among us. I mean, the web developers, that maybe those that are familiar with website development already, they will surely understand what or the difference between a website on its own and a web application. If you create a website, let me quickly explain that. If you create a website on your local machine, it will only work fine on your local machine. And you want it to be dynamic, you want it to be responsive to any of your device, or any device that want to run your applications, then you need to create or convert it to web applications. That is exactly what you should do. So the difference between a web application and just a website is just that. A website is static, while a web application is dynamic. So that is that. So without wasting much of our time, the next one is mobile application. What is a mobile application? As even from the name, when we say mobile, it means it is handy. That's don't stress yourself. We are talking about mobile devices. That's the very first thing that comes to our mind is our smartphone. That's our phone. So we have applications that runs on our phone. We have some applications that runs on our web. That's on our yes, on our web, and we also have some applications that runs on our network. But a mobile app is a software also developed specifically for use on small devices, wireless computing devices such as our tablets or our phones, rather than desktop or laptop computers. So it is totally different. As we all know that any app you run on your phone cannot work on your computer. On your computer, it can't work except you install some applications that can make your APK to work on your system. You have some applications like we have Memo. Memo will, once you install Memo on your system, any applications that runs on your phone can also run on your laptop or on your tablet. So that is Memo for you. So, and that is that about a mobile app. Then, what are the three types of mobile applications that are available as of today? We have these three main types of mobile applications, which we must take note of, especially for those of us that will want to base or focus on penetration testing. As a pen tester, those that will always find vulnerabilities on any of these applications, either web or mobile or network, it is advisable for you to take note of these three types of mobile applications. The first one is the native apps. The second one is the web-based apps. The third one is the hybrid apps. I explain these three in the following slide. So let's just take note. Now, what is native mobile applications? From the word native itself, the native mobile applications are built specifically for a particular operating system, such as your iOS, that's for the MacBook or for the Apple devices, or Android for the Android devices. Now, these apps are developed using platform-specific programming languages, software such as our SDK. And the full meaning of the SDK is the software development kit. It is always run on Java. It's always run on Java. JDK and SDK. Either you say JDK, the JDK is just the Java development kit, while the SDK is the software development kit. Now, which allow them to leverage the full capabilities of the operating system and this device's hardware also. Now, one of the main advantages of this native mobile application is that their performance and user experience, they are always so much friendly. They are always very, very friendly. And from what I just said, I'm very sure there's no application you run or you open on your phone that is not friendly. If it is not friendly, nobody will tell you to uninstall it. So that is just one thing about the native mobile application. So anytime they mention, or if you're asked to categorize some applications into some categories, you should know or you should understand the native mobile applications and some applications that runs under it. The first one is the iOS, the second one is the Android, and you can give as many examples as you know. We have more than 8 billion applications on the Play Store or the iOS Store. So you can just give as many names as you remember. So, and that is that. Now, one of the main advantages of this native mobile application is that their performance and their user experience. Now, since they are optimized for a specific operating system, they can take full advantage of the device's features and seamlessly integrate with the operating system. And what does that mean? We have developers, app developers, that's those software engineers. Once you design any application, fine. We have series of versions of Android versions, version 10, 11, 12, 13. I think there's another one that's senior 13 now. I don't know. But the sweet thing about it is that whenever any application is being designed, it will always take the features of that OS. That means if an app is released today, yes, if any application is being released today, those previous application, because I worked with Java a little, not proficient, when when you release a particular application as of today, you must give a priority for the latest OS, and that is exactly what they mean by one of the main advantages of this native mobile application is that their performance and their user experience, since they are optimized for a specific OS, that is just that. They are optimized for a specific OS. They can take full advantage of the device features and offer seamless integration with operating system. Now, native apps can also access device-specific functionalities like camera, GPS, push notifications, etc. Now, however, when you are developing any native apps for multiple platforms, it requires separate development effort and maintenance. And what does that mean? For instance, you let's say you are a developer, fine, you are a developer. Do not forget we are cybersecurity expert, but you as a developer, don't forget you must always have hands on all of this. That is, you must have ideas on everything that has to do with tech, so that whenever they are discussing or whenever they give you something that, okay, how can you help us to protect it, you should be able to know what you even want to protect or what you even want to test. So that is the reason why you must at least lay hands on all of these things, not even to know them to the core, but just to have ideas. Now, while I was learning how to develop or design apps, I observed that we have two versions, like it was mentioned here. We have the Android, we have the iOS. I base on Android. Why? Because I use Android, and I discovered that anytime I finish creating my applications, it does not work on iOS. So what happens is that same code can be converted without stressing yourself, without writing another code from scratch. Just convert the ready-made code and you are good. So that is what exactly this last point is saying here. Native apps can also access device-specific functionalities like camera, GPS, also push notifications. Now, however, when we are developing native apps for multiple platforms, that is exactly what I just explained just now. It requires separate development effort. Just like when you are developing for Android, your mind should be you should start afresh and develop for the iOS. But they have made things more easier that once you finish your either Android, that's using, for me I use Python, maybe using Flask or Flutter, you can easily convert them to iOS without stress. So without writing much code, you just need to touch some things, then you are good. What about web-based? The web-based application also, from the word web, you don't need to stress yourself. It's all application that has to do with the web. And from here, anytime we're talking about the web, we're talking about the father, which is the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. These three things makes a website a website. Without these three things, nothing like website is a website. So, web-based mobile application, also known as mobile web apps, are essentially websites that are designed to be accessed and used on mobile devices. They are built using web technologies such as what I've just mentioned and what we have on the screen: the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript, and are accessed through a web browser. You can use any web browser of your choice. Now, these apps are not installed on the device, but they are accessed. It's totally different from application. It's totally different from web application. It's a mobile application, so you can access them through website. It's not that you install them in the website or in your browser. You can only access them through your browser. Also, they can run on various devices and operating systems as long as they have a compatible web browser. And also, like when I was teaching some students about a web browser, using the VS Code, there's a shortcut that it is automatically to just put a browser for you there, and the browser it always put is Edge. So which means the default browser, the default browser for that application you are building should be Edge. So instead of that, it has a way where how you can do that, so that any browser will be suitable. It won't be complaining. So you can just manipulate that. Web application also provide easier maintenance and update, since changes can be made on the server side without requiring users to download any update. However, web-based application may have limitations in terms of performance and access to device-specific features. Let me quickly explain this. Compared to normal applications, this last statement says web apps also provide easier maintenance. Yes, easier maintenance. No stress, you can maintain whatever your browser gives you is what it is. It will be. But compared to the kind of application you installed on your machine, on your phone, either on your phone, anything you install, it needs update. You need to update. For example, you are using a particular app on your mobile phone. In the next maybe in the next 3-4 weeks, all you just see is a pop-up that you need to update. Is it update or upgrade? I've forgotten how they normally use it. You just need to go to Play Store and update. Yes, I think it's update. You just need to, it is a must. It will force you to go to Play Store and do update. So that is what that last statement says over there. Now let's look at the last one. The last one is the hybrid. The last one is the hybrid. And what do we mean by hybrid? Even from the word English hybrid, it means a two-way things. Now, hybrid mobile applications combines elements of both native and web-based apps. Now, they are developed using web technologies like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and they are now wrapped in a native container that enables them to be installed and run on a device like a native app. Such as, remember when Facebook first of all came out, it was only on browser that we can only access it. Yes, even Google, when it first of all came out, it is only on browser, that is Internet Explorer, that we can use it. But now we can even download Chrome itself. We can download Google itself. So all of these, or this combination, or this kind of application is classified under hybrid mobile applications. And if you are to give one example, all you just need to do is to give an example that relates to a particular application that runs on both web browser and at the same time runs on your mobile devices. That is a very good example of hybrid mobile applications. So you as a penetration tester, or you as a cybersecurity expert or beginner, you should be able to differentiate between these three: the native, the web, and the hybrid. So you should be able to differentiate between the three. The first one is this, the second one is this, while the third one is this. So you should be able to differentiate between these three. Now let's quickly move on. Now let's look at the last one, because we said we have web and mobile, then network applications. So let's see what we have in network. The word network is connecting two things together. As normal human being, you say you want to network, just try to network yourself. That is, try to mingle, try to connect from just maybe from you to someone else, from someone else to someone else, from someone else to someone else. That is connection, especially in a business firm or in a seminar. They will just ask you, they will just advise you just to try to connect, just try to network yourself now. But what we are trying to see here is computer network, and not only computer network applications. So I make sure I explain the two: normal computer network and our network applications that we are going to be testing. In this course, in this training, we might not test network because we have limited time. We might not test network. We'll test only web applications. Fine. I promise you that it is only web application we are going to. Let me clarify myself now. It's only web application we will be able to touch in this course. The mobile applications, we cannot touch it. We cannot. I said we cannot. Not that we won't touch it. We cannot touch it. And let me quickly clarify that the reason why we cannot touch it is this. I see that it is difficult for some of us to even install Kali Linux, even till now. And if we want to pen test or try to hack or test mobile, not web, mobile applications, it requires a lot of heavy tools. Heavy tools. So this time around, it's not just anyhow system you'll be using. If care is not taken, you need to go and change your system. That is why I said we cannot, because I don't know the kind of system we are using. So that is why I use that word, we cannot. But in the long run, in your career, if you continue, you should be able to come across all of these things and you realize exactly what I mean by that. So that is that. But I promise us, we are going to pen test, we are going to hack web applications. And although it is left for you, this is ethical, not unethical. I will never advise any one of us to use this training to do malicious things. We are learning this to be able to protect ourselves and also to be able to protect any organizations you'll be fortunate to be working with in the nearest future. So that is the aim, not to be using it as the maybe you just have that same aim as all those Yahoo guys normally have out there. So that is that. So let's quickly take a look at a computer network. A computer network is a system that connects two or more computing devices to transmit and share data. That is a very short meaning of network application. Now, what is the major meaning of application network? An application network is a way to connect applications, data, and devices through APIs. Take that again. Application network is a way to connect applications. Not only applications, you connect data. And not only data, you connect devices through APIs. Or what is the meaning of API? Application Programming Interface. We have a lot of them out there. You can do research on that. I'm very sure you are familiar with API. That is the meaning, and we have a lot of them. Their platform. You have a lot of them out there. This exposes some or all of their assets and data on the network. So if you want to hack anything, once you know the kind of API they are using, it will be easy for you to pen test them or to hack them. Now, that network allows other consumers from other parts of the country or the business to come in and discover and use those assets. For example, I have a business that I'm running. Mind you, it is only those in my area that will know the kind of business I'm running. And if my business is the type that runs based on millions, that millionaires patronizes me, don't forget, it will only still remain my environment people that will continue to patronize me. But immediately I apply these APIs of a thing that's either mobile or web or network to take my business online, other can surely access my business or my product through online. then either I deliver to them or they come to where I am to patronize me, either of the two. Now, the point is this: once such can occur, transaction online, my business is at risk, a very, very big one. So here, the hackers can start targeting my business. So if it is not secure, or if I don't have cybersecurity expert, they can hijack my client. How? We have a lot of ways. Don't worry. As time goes on, I won't just be telling you all those things by now. We have a lot of ways. We have a lot of ways that we can do that. And they will be selling things on my behalf, and I will never know. And that is the work of hackers. And I'll think I'm still the one in control of my business, whereas I'm not the one in control any longer. So that is that about application network. So are you guys still with me? If I'm still audible, maybe someone should just signify, then I continue. Yes.
Very clear, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Go
much.
ahead. Very clear.
All right, sir. So now that is that about network. So let's move on, because we have lots to cover here in this network of a team. Now we have types of API. Like I've said that we have a lot of them. I listed 4 here, and these 4 are the major, the most popular ones. So we have what is called the REST API. The web developers among us, the software developers among us, even if you are not among any one of them, if I start a beginner, you can just take note of all of these things, and by the time you, at least you should be, if you are able to say 1 or 2 things about all of these things outside, interviewers, I mean those people that want to interview you, you convince them. They will think, oh wow, this guy sabi everything, as in he already knows everything, even if you don't know everything. So they'll just assume, wow, you know everything. Why? Just because you are able to say 1 or 2 things. You might not even be able to say it correctly. Like even me, it's not everything I know. So I just sometimes use idea based on what I've learned before, then I'll be good. So that is that. The first one is the REST API. So the REST API, the full meaning is the representational state transfer, and is a web service API that is used for web. So we have SOAP. We have SOAP. I don't think I'll be treating you SOAP with you guys here. I'm not sure I'll be treating SOAP with you guys. It's not the kind of soap you used to bathe to, but SOAP also is an API in tech. And what is the meaning of SOAP? It's a simple object access protocol. It's a well-established protocol similar to REST. It is also a web API. So we have event-driven APIs, also known as what? Asynchronous API. So you can just browse more on them and see what they do. I won't want to waste much time on them. We have RPC. So that one is remote procedure call. So it is typically used to call remote functions, even from the name, on a server that require an action result. So we can see that when you require complex calculations or want to trigger a remote procedure on the server with process hidden from the client. So that is that the common type about the APIs protocol we have. Now we have types of network. I'm pretty much sure that we are familiar with, if not 3, 4 before, but I'll take my time to dig out more types of network for us. So we have what we call PAN, personal area network, which I'm very sure we are familiar with before now. We have the LAN, which one is generally, this one is common. Even if they ask a day old baby if he or she could be granted access to talk, the first thing you will mention is the LAN, which is very, very common. That's the cable is even common, we can identify it. So the LAN, which is the local area network, which is common. We have the MAN also, the metropolitan area network. We have the WAN. So these first 4 I listed, they are common. Then the next one I just added is campus area network, the storage area network, and the passive optical local area network, also the wireless local area network. So this one, the last one is even common, that we have it on our is common using our phone. So that one is also common. So That is that. So we are just touching all of these one by one. Is that person should help us to mute himself or herself. So that is that about types of network. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of network applications? So this is just a very simple advantage and a very simple disadvantage. I just shorten it here. Now, the advantage include performance enhancement. And what does that mean? If you are using a particular network, probably for example, let me use application this time around. Compared to when you are using LAN, their performance and enhancement will be very, very differ. The resource sharing also will be very, very differ. I could remember during then in the past, before it was Bluetooth before. Then after Bluetooth, I think this thing came out. I think this thing we normally use was Zenda. Yes, Zenda of a thing. Yes. So that is network for you. Before you can send anything, you must network your devices together. Then from there you can now relate all of these advantages to them. After you have you want to share some resources from a particular phone to another phone. If you use cable, fine, it will be fine. Compared to when you use network, that is when you use something like this, wireless, it will be much more faster than using cable. That is exactly what this particular first statement is all saying here. That is, it includes performance enhancement, resource sharing enhancement. It's also increasing storage capacity and improve also communication. But the disadvantages include potential risk like security concerns, which is the major concerns here. The security concern. Someone like an hacker, you want to receive, or a particular hacker want to send you a file. You can receive virus from such person. So that's one of the disadvantage of that network of a thing. You can for example, let me just be sincere with you guys. Although I wanted to wait till we get to that stage, but it might escape my mind when we get there. For those of us that we see wireless, is it wireless? Yes, we see free Wi-Fi outside. The next thing to do is to go home and bring our chairs, take it there and go and sit in the name that I've seen free Wi-Fi. My brothers and sisters, you are not safe. You are not safe at all. If somebody like me is among you, I bet with you I can just be playing with your phone. I'll just be playing with your phone, and you will know. Even with the system, so far we are on the same network. Maybe you say you want to enjoy free Wi-Fi, and you'll be damaging yourself. You won't know. So I'll just advise us: anything free out there, free Wi-Fi, free food, free something. Always be watchful, please. Always be watchful. So you, as a cybersecurity oriented person, by now you should desist from such thing. Do not engage in such acts any longer. As from today, is an advice. As from today, just buy data and be safe, rather than sharing public Wi-Fi. The name that I saw free Wi-Fi, you use it to download movies. My brother and sister, those people that put it there, they intentionally put it there. Probably they might have intention or hidden agenda, but I'm pretty much sure that you are not safe. You are not safe. So just take note of that, please. So that is that. Now we have types of network application. In which most time here we have the web browser. We have the web browser. The web browser allows users to access and navigate websites. And using this, they use a network protocol such as the HTTP and the HTTPS to receive web content. So the difference between this HTTP and the HTTPS is that one is secure and one is not secure. So always take note of this. Whenever you are browsing any internet, it is what we already know, but let me remind us. Anytime you are browsing the internet, always check the column where you normally type your URL. That's where you type your domain name. If it is secure, you are good. If it is not secure, please desist from that such site. Even the one that is secure, they can hack it. Talk less of the one that is not secure. So just take note of that, please. Now, examples, we have Google Chrome, the Mozilla Firefox, the Microsoft Edge. We have a lot of them. These three ones are common to Windows. They are common to Windows. When we are talking about Linux, we are talking about Mozilla Firefox. And we are talking about Linux also, we're talking about Tor. So these are the ones we use in Linux. Although they use Google Chrome, but the one that will come with Linux you have installed, you only find Firefox in it. So that is that. We have the email client. The email client facilitates the sending, receiving, and management of email messages. It also has to do with network. So don't forget what we are trying to treat here is the types of network applications. So if you are asked now, what types of web applications do you know? You can give Chrome. You can mention any web applications you know that work with website. If you are asked what type of mobile applications you know, you can mention as many applications. We have billions of them on the Play Store. You can mention them. But when it comes to network applications, so these are the ones you should mention: the web browser, the email client, and we have them. You can just go through them. I don't want to waste much time. And we have the file transfer protocol, that is the FTP. We have the messaging apps. We have a lot of them. We have the WhatsApp, Slack, Microsoft. Any messaging app they create today all belongs to messaging apps, and they all use network to communicate. You must be online before you can communicate. Exactly. So we have video conferencing tools, so like Zoom, even the Meet we are using. Cisco uses WebEx, so we have a lot of them. So video conferencing, it is also a network. Before we can communicate this way, we must be on network. You must own your network. That is exactly what it's all saying. Then also we have remote desktop applications. The remote desktop applications allow users to access and control remote computers over a particular network, facilitating technical support and also troubleshooting them, and also remote work. Example, we have Team Viewers. Are we familiar with Team Viewers? It is very is a Microsoft this thing. Yes. Then AnyDesk remote desktop protocol. This AnyDesk, I think, is AutoCAD uses it. Yes. AnyDesk, yes, AutoCAD uses this one. It's a remote desktop application. After you have designed from your AutoCAD, I do AutoCAD a little. After you have done AutoCAD, you can use AnyDesk to also view like them. So let me see whether we still have more. So, and thank God, that is the end for today's class. Thank you for listening. So we have like 5 minutes for what's it called? Questions and answer. If you have questions, let me see. Just raise your hands. Let me see those that will raise your hands. I'll call you as I see your hands. Good. So if you have questions, someone's have dropped a lot of things here. Let me check the messages. I'm very sorry I didn't check the messages. Okay, so please, what's the difference between network and network applications? Okay, a network is just like types of ways of connecting devices. You can connect your phone with your system. That is a form of a particular type of network. Either your phone with a system or system with system in using a particular medium. For instance, if you want to connect your phone with system, either you use cable or use Bluetooth. That is networking. You are networking your phone with your system. Now, network application, it is the kind of applications that runs, or let me put it this way. Let me give you an example so that you understand it. Network application is like you want to communicate with another system without using phone, without using cable, and you want to communicate to another system. So you must use application. And such one example is WhatsApp. If you have WhatsApp on your phone, you have WhatsApp on your laptop. If you send any message on your phone, it will appear on your laptop immediately. That is application. That is network application. I believe it is clear now. Mrs. Is it Miss is no longer there, I think. Let me see. Have I answered your question? Have I answered your question? So if yes, signify. If no, if you are still not satisfied, I can still go through it again. So network is just normal ways of networking, that's connecting our system or devices together to communicate. But the application in there is a means of using a particular medium to send and receive data or information. Yes, Mr. Dave Aruna. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, you talk about sharing other networks that are free Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What about the school Wi-Fi that everybody log in and then have access to that?
Yes.
Or they have free ones. They have free ones that we can also access. So that one, can somebody have access to our phone?
The only thing that will make it not to be dangerous is if it is passworded. Before you log in, will you be given password? Will you be asked to put in password before you can log in?
Yes.
It is a little bit safe. Yes, it is safe.
Okay.
Than a public Wi-Fi is. You just go there. Nobody will ask you for a pin. Nobody. You just connect your system, connect your phone. Baga, you are good. You are going.
Okay, sir.
So that is the difference. But if it prompts that you should enter password, you are still secure a little.
Okay, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
For those of you asking for slide, we will surely send it tomorrow, not today. I will be sending the slide every Sundays. I think that one is okay. But the video, I will upload this video also for those that are not able to join the session. They can still have the opportunity to still go through it. So someone asks, Mr. Kamaldin, can we say Xender is a form of network application? Very good example. Network application, yes, sir. You will discover that before you send anything, it will be even asking you to do something about your network. Either you close one for one, you do one for one. That is a very good example of a network application that you can also pen test. You can hack it, or you can destroy it. You can do anything about that. So someone said about attendance. I intentionally didn't send attendance. Now, a quick one before the meeting ends. The attendance. Just prepare your mind. Just prepare your mind. I've changed my mind now. I won't use attendance as priority anymore. But the last exam, before you qualify, you will sweat small. And I'm joking. The exam is going to be tough, seriously. I mean, it's going to be tough. For those of you that did the test, the quiz again on Sunday, Monday evening, you saw how the test was. It was not something you were expecting at all. So that is exactly what is going to look like in the final exam. So the attendance, forget it for now. I won't want to put pressure on anyone. For now. No attendance. Just try to attend the class. If you cannot attend the class, make sure you attend the recording session. Watch the recording session and be good. Then, the cybersecurity professional examination is what I'm going to give you. So if you can pass, that's the condition there now. If you can pass, you will be awarded certificate. If you can pass, and that certificate is not my company that is issuing it. I won't tell you so that you won't. Don't let me say that. I won't want you to dedicate more time to it. But Just don't worry. When the time comes, when we get to the bridge, we shall cross it. So the exam is what I'm using to judge everyone. And prepare your mind is a 200 questions, and you must pass at least 80%. 80%. Just prepare your mind for that. It's a 200 questions, 80%, and I'll give you enough time to do that. You just prepare your mind for that. So thank you. Any other question? I'm already afraid of the exam. We'll be prepared. Thank you for today's. Okay, don't worry, just prepare. Don't be scared. Don't just be scared. Don't be scared. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It's not someone that will set it. Don't be scared, okay? Don't be scared. It's just to prepare ourselves. So that when you go out there is something I will link you to. I'm going to link you to a lot of things. There are a lot of things you are going to benefit here. And I'm doing this once again. Let me remind us, I'm doing this based on experience, because of what I've passed through, because of what has happened to me. I felt bad when someone is somewhere that can help you and the person is not ready to help and has a thing. So they didn't really touched me. So I decided that I must not be that same person. So anytime anything I have that I think and I know I can give out freely without causing me harms, I think I can do it. So someone has challenged me. What am I gaining? You are wasting your data. You are wasting your time. I said, let me waste it. Is it not my money? Is it not my time? So that is that. So do you have any question again? If there is no more questions, so let's call it again. Are we having the exam on Monday like the one we no the exam will be towards maybe the final day of our session. Okay, that will be the final day. Let's say May 12th, or I don't know, the final day of our session. The final day of our session is going to be our examination day. Just prepare your mind. I don't know when the date will follow. So tonight, throughout this week, no test, no exam again, but we are going to write general final exam. Just prepare your mind ahead of that. So let me see again. Are we having the exam on Monday like the other one we had? It is after the whole class is done and dusted with. Okay, it is going to be after the whole session. That's week 10. So week 10 is when we are going to have the quiz in general. So any other question? Thanks for today. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. Let me mention some names that I'm seeing here. I want to get familiar with some of the names. Afolabi Ineoluwa, Akewushola Abdulkarim, Bernard Ramos, Bishop Omoleye, Cindy Uferi. Please pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name very well. Dave Aruna, Isaac Nobu, John Oyakbero, Kamal Okpeyemi, that's my oga, Kesta Basi Kwaku Yeboah, Miriam Edward, Ojojumolokpemi, see name, I love this name, Ojojumolokpe Wilson, Olaniran Johnson, Oluwatosin Tinoye, Oreoluwa Idowu, Peter, my oga again, Peter Mushan, Success Kennedy, this is my son, Wasiu Abolaji. So I'm getting familiar with some of the names so that I can get used to the names. So that's why I'm calling the name. Please pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name very well. So any other question? What you mother my son name? Hey, wait. No verse, sir. No verse. Let me call it again. Cindy.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome,
really
sir.
appreciate
You're welcome,
this
sir.
great work. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. So be expecting the thank you. So be expecting the session.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So I will drop the link again for those that miss it or that still want to do one or two things.